Hello, welcome to the service class with GB Audio. On the bench today I've got a Philips CD162 classic compact disc player from the late 80s. Philips were the pioneers of this format, and this is one of their early models. This has got a very common issue, the door's stuck or sticky. So we're going to have a look at that, see if we can get it fixed and working. One other little detail I noticed when this player came in was, if we look underneath, there's a couple of red screw heads here. These are actually transit screws that hold the player mechanism in place for shipping. These should be removed for normal playing. And there's a couple of storage slots over to the side there. That now allows the player mechanism to be loose and suspended, which is the normal playing mode. So I don't know if they were just put in for bringing the unit in for repair, or if they've been there since it was new. That would be interesting to know. Anyway, one handy little tip: do take your transit screws out. First thing to do before we take the lid off is remove the mains power so that it's safe to work. We swing it round, we can see it's a set of Torxed T10 screws to get into it. Two at each side, and there's another one at the back. Nice and simple. Kind of curious, the output phone lead is permanently attached rather than on sockets. You don't see that terribly often. There we go. That's the screws out, and let's just take the main socket out of there. Bring it around so we can see. The lid just lifts off. So now we've got the lid off, we can see the CD drawer here, we can see the motor and the rubber drive belt here that runs onto the drawer pulley. It feels a wee bit slack and it's quite shiny and slippy, and that'll be why the door's not opening properly. To get the belt out, unhooking it from the motor pulley is easy, but getting it off the drawer pulley is not so easy because that's connected to the drawer mechanism, so we need to remove the drawer out the front. So we can now manually slide the drawer forward, and see these two lugs here on the drawer. These have stoppers underneath the front panel so that the drawer doesn't go any further out than it's supposed to for normal operation. So we take it to that front position, then we'll lift up the centerpiece here and lens cover, and at the back end of the drawer tray we can unhook these arms off the pins that they're on, and then suddenly the drawer tilts downwards, and with it tilted it'll come out clear of the front panel. There we go. let's put that aside for the moment. So now we can unhook the belt. While we've got the tray out, just going to dust the runners with a paintbrush, and might as well dust the rest of this. Saves it getting into the mechanism. The other thing that's probably worth doing is just running a cloth down the runners. Make sure there's no contamination in there. And now that's ready for going back in. So here's the old belt, which is not completely saggy. It's not in too bad a condition. It's got a slight kink where it's been sitting over the motor pulley, probably for some time, unused, and it's a little bit shiny, and that'll be what's causing the slipping. So let's see what it measures. Okay, so without stretching, the doubled up length is 83 millimeters, so that's 166. So here's the new belt. It's a belt 92, which is 163 millimeters in length. There's a link down in the description below should you need to buy one yourself. Let's go and fit it. Here's the new belt. We need to hook it around the front pulley first. And then the motor. So now we can reintroduce the drawer, making sure that the runners line up on the side pins at the front here until it gets in. It's going back in reverse, so we go in at the angle so that these lugs clear the front panel. As soon as they're through, level it off and just hook these side lugs in at the back. And there we have it. It clicks into place. The cover goes back down. And there we go, it all locates. Just before we put the lid on, let's reconnect the power carefully with no hands inside the machine, just to make sure we can verify the doors opening and closing satisfactorily. There we go. So now it just remains to put the lid back on, tighten up the screws, and this old CD player will be back to normal operation. If you found this tutorial helpful at all, please subscribe to our channel, and if you have any comments, you can put them in the box down below. And good luck fixing your own CD player. Happy days.